Hi there and welcome to today's yoga class. I'm Harry Kalymnios from thethoughtgym.com, and in today's class we're going to aim to do a full flow, complete flow within that 30-minute slot that we've got. So let's get started straight away, and we're going to start on our backs in butterfly or reclined butterfly Vinyasa. So soles of the feet together and allow the knees to pop out. If you do want any blocks, if you've got any blocks or books, they may be useful for later. They can even be useful for now if you want to support your knees in any way. That can be quite nice. I'm not going to for myself, but place a hand on your belly and a hand on your chest. Allow the knees to drift open. Allow gravity to do the work. Notice your breath. Just notice whether you're breathing in through the nose and into the belly. So the hand that's on your chest should be the one that's moving, the hand that's on your belly should be the one that's moving, and the one on your chest should not really be moving much. And if it is moving, it should be moving after the other hand. So close the eyes, maybe create a little intention for today's practice. Inhale and exhale. Nice and soft, but deep. Okay, so soft means light, deep means far down into the belly. Okay, and opening the eyes, cradling the thighs, bringing the knees together, and bringing the knees in towards the chest, having a little roll on the lower back here, a few times in one direction and then a few times in the other direction. Yeah, and then placing the feet flat on the ground so the knees are bent, and the legs are bent. Almost that you can practically touch your feet with your hands. We're going to come into bridge pose, so tuck in the pelvis or roll in the pelvis towards the chin as you start to lift the pelvis, engage the glutes and the thighs as if you're pressing that block between the knees, keeping your feet parallel here. Maybe your gaze is towards the navel, or maybe your eyes are closed. If you want to take an arm position, you can interlace the fingers underneath the back and maybe even shuffle the shoulders a little bit so that you can find a little bit more there, but you don't have to. Your practice, up to you. Engaging the glutes, holding it there for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Releasing the hands if you've got the hands interlaced. And as you slowly come down, make it vertebra by vertebra, so you're still tucking the pelvis as you come down. Taking the feet to the edges of the mat, knocking the knees together, and just windscreen wipering the knees from side to side here. Good. And then grabbing hold of the backs of the knees again, rocking forwards and backwards, tucking the chin in. And coming into tabletop position. So hands and knees underneath the hips, wrists, shoulders, elbows all in a line. Gaze down between the thumbs. Inhale, gazing forward, drawing the elbow creases forward, the biceps forward, and tilting the tailbone up. Exhale as you round through the upper spine, chin to chest, bringing the pelvis forward. So inhale, gaze forward, exhale, gaze to navel. Okay, inhale, dip in the belly, exhale, round in the back. Okay, a couple more times as we take our cat-cow position. Good. From here, placing the hands maybe a little bit further forward, tucking the toes, and coming into downward facing dog. So, downward dog, feet nice, hip width apart, slightly pigeon-toed. Index finger or middle finger of the hands pointing forward, elbow creases and biceps rotating forwards, maybe pedaling through the feet a few times, shooting that tailbone up towards the back corner of the room as we find a bit of stillness here in downward facing dog. From downward facing dog, lifting the right leg into three-legged dog, firstly hips square, then bending the knee and opening up that hip. So opening up that hip, three-legged dog. From here, coming into high plank and tapping the right knee to the right tricep. And then coming back into that scorpion dog, if you like, with the bent knee and the twist. And then right knee to left tricep, high plank, twist it. And back into that scorpion twist. And knee to nose, hold it there. And then place the foot between the hands here. Okay? From here, inhale the arms up towards the sky, coming up into high lunge. Exhale as you cactus the hands, coming into a high lunge with cactus arms, obviously. Squeezing the chest, opening up, or the back of the chest, opening up the fingers, maybe looking towards the sky here. Good. Inhale, arms up towards the sky. Exhale, place them down to the ground. Inhale, right arm up towards the sky, twist. Good. Placing the hand back down on the ground, lowering the back knee, and then lengthening that right leg, coming onto the heel of that right leg, shifting the toes towards the shin, bringing the chest down towards the thigh, keeping the hips and the bottom, so not resting on the heel, just floating a little bit beyond towards the back, but keeping the gap between your left heel and your buttocks. Coming back into that long lunge, releasing the knee from the ground, and then stepping back into downward facing dog. Staying in downward facing dog, or if you want, we're going to do a rolling vinyasa. So elevating the heels and the toes, the hips, rolling forward into high plank, lowering down towards the ground to chaturanga, upward dog or cobra, opening up the shoulders, thighs off the ground if you're doing upward dog here, and tucking the chin, rolling back into downward facing dog. Good, taking the other side, so left leg comes up to the sky, three-legged dog, activating the leg, bending the knee, opening up the hip, coming into our kind of scorpion dog here. From here, left knee, left tricep, high plank. Back to scorpion dog. Left knee, right tricep, high plank twist. Back to scorpion dog. And then left knee to nose, hold. And place it between the hands. Coming up into high lunge on the inhale. And exhaling, squeezing, coming into that cactus arm position in that high lunge position. Left knee should be tracking over the second big toe and over the front heel. Okay, so maybe just have a little look, see what's going on there. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, place into the ground. Good. Inhale, left hand to sky. Taking a couple of breaths there. Drawing that left hip back, that right hip forward. Exhale, brings the arm down. Lowering the back knee and lengthening through that front leg. Shifting the weight back and the heels, the toes towards the shin, bringing the chest down towards the thigh. Coming back, raising that back knee, planting the hands down, coming into your high plank, either straight into downward dog or indeed child's pose. Or staying in downward dog, or rolling vinyasa, so elevating the hips, the heels, rolling forward, creating that rounding in the spine, coming down through your chaturanga, shoulders come to about elbow height, inhale into your upward dog or your cobra, gazing forwards, tucking the chin, rolling back, vertebra by vertebra, coming into downward facing dog. Take a moment here to breathe, inhale, and exhale. Good. Inhaling the right leg up towards the sky. Exhale, stepping it through. Coming into warrior one. So lowering the back heel, toes pointed slightly forward, right knee over ankle. Inhale, arms up towards the sky. So placing the hips square with the front of your room. Try not to collapse into that back arch. Pressing through that outer edge, opening up the hips at the same time as drawing those hips forward, okay? Arms inhaling up and exhale as you interlace the fingers behind the back here. Okay? Draw the hands down the spine. Inhale, chest rises. Exhale, right shoulder comes inside of right knee into our humble warrior. Try keeping the hands closed, so the palms together, and then lifting the hands up and over here. Good. And inhaling up. Exhale, warrior one. From here you may want to bring that back leg in slightly, and here you may want your bricks. So if you want your bricks, you're going to place them to the outside of your right foot, so you can have them on one of the different levels that you've got, or stack them like this. Feet are running on train tracks, so not in one line, unless that's your preference, but generally easier if it's not. Hips square, feet about 1 meter apart, okay? Inhale the left hand up towards the sky, exhale halfway. Inhale, imagine you being pulled by that left hand but drawn back by that right hip, and then exhale, twisting as you find maybe the floor, the shin, a block, a book, whatever, okay? You can keep the right hand on the hip, pulling that right hip back, or you can raise the right hand if you wish, taking a full twist, okay? This can be quite strong, so do what you feel is best for you. Good. And then releasing both hands to the floor, moving the bricks out of the way, and we're going to come into our standing split. So placing the hands about 6 inches in front of the right foot, and lifting the left leg up. Okay, you're never gonna, unless you're amazingly flexible, gonna get into the full splits. We call it standing splits. I'm sure mine is nowhere near. In my imagination, my feet are touching the ceiling. In reality, they're probably about 6 inches off the floor. From here, we're gonna bend the right knee and bend the left knee, and tap the left knee to the right heel, and come back up into standing splits. Okay, so you bend both knees. Left knee taps outside of the right heel and back up. One more time. Tap and coming back up into standing splits. Then bringing the knees together and rising up, balancing on that right leg. Okay. And then coming into tree pose. So you can place the foot anywhere along the leg as long as it's not on the knee. So it can be below the knee or above the knee, up to you. Hands in any position that works for you, so they can be here, they can be behind you in prayer position, they can grab hold of the elbows if you want, you can have them up above, like this, you can look up, you can close your eyes, whatever you want to do. Good. And then from here, we're going to step back gracefully without putting that back foot down until we get to the end of our mat into our low lunge. Step back, downward facing dog. From here again, either child's pose, downward dog, or a roll through to your high plank. Low plank chaturanga, taking that vinyasa flow and tucking chin, rolling back. Downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg lifts to the sky. Exhale as you step that through. Lowering the back heel as you rise up, coming into warrior one on the second side. So left knee over left ankle. Right foot is glued into that outer edge, opening up the hips but squaring the hips. Arms coming up over the head. And then as you exhale, interlacing the fingers behind you, the uncommon way for you, okay, the awkward way, the one that feels a bit weird. Inhale, draw the hands down, chest rises. Exhale, left shoulder inside left knee. Come into humble warrior, keeping the hands closed. If you can, lifting slowly over and over and over. Good. Inhale, coming all the way up, finding that warrior one. Exhale as you step that right leg forward slightly, straighten the front leg. Again, placing the blocks outside of that left foot. Squaring the hips, running your legs on train tracks, as if you're on kind of train tracks, narrow train tracks. Left hand, left hip, inhale, right hand up. Exhale, halfway. Inhale, pull. Imagine you're being pulled with that right hand, the right hip comes forward, the left hip is being drawn back. Exhale, you twist onto that block or your shin or the floor even. And then if you're comfortable there, maybe you look up, maybe you extend the left shoulder. This is my injured side from about 16 years ago, 17 years ago actually. I fractured my shoulder, so it never really opens up. I was doing snowboarding, I think in France, and I was going for a jump and I hit a hidden stump, fell, put my arm out, had wrist guards on, and all the force went straight into the shoulder. It took over a year to heal, obviously not fully healed. And then lowering the hands down, folding over that leg, moving the blocks out of the way, inhaling, coming up into your standing splits as you move the hands forward. Again, squaring the hips, lifting that heel as much as possible, squeezing the glute, the right glute. And then as we bend both knees, bring the right knee to the outside of the right ankle, or left ankle. Inhaling, standing splits. Exhale, crunching into that ball again, tapping the back of your ankle. Inhale, exhaling, tapping, bending into both. Inhale, and then this time bring the knees together. Inhale brings you up into standing on your left leg. Exhale again, hands anywhere you want, opening up into your tree pose. Trying to keep the hips square but the knee coming out to the side here. Focused on something that's not moving in front of you or on the floor in front of you. A dot, a mark on something, whatever, something that's not wobbling. Good. And from here we're going to step back into that low lunge, nice and slowly, softly, low lunge, step back, downward dog, take your child pose or downward dog, or roll through your vinyasa, shoulders come down to elbow height, inhale, chest is drawn forwards, thighs engaged, tucking the chin, rounding through the spine, coming back, downward facing dog. Okay, this next one we're going to be coming into pigeon. Now if you have got issues with your knees like I do, I often do a recline pigeon, so figure 4, lying on the back, but because I've got blocks here, I'm going to show you how you can do it if your hips are a bit lifted, and it can be quite nice to do. So inhale, right leg up towards the sky. Exhale as you bring the right knee behind the right wrist and the foot behind the left wrist. Okay. Now I'm quite high up on this pigeon pose, so it's not massively comfortable. But if I put a block behind me or 2 to support that hip, I can keep my hips reasonably square. My knee is quite comfortable. You don't have to have your shin parallel here, wherever is comfortable for you. And you can stay upright like this, or you can lower down, roll through and come up. Okay, so as you roll, tuck the chin and roll back up. Okay, one more time, rolling down. And then now just roll all the way down, maybe taking a sleeping pigeon here for a bit. Okay, so it's really important that your knees are comfortable in this position. So if you find that your right hip is quite high, put a towel, some jumpers, cushions, books, blocks, anything underneath. I find it so much nicer. As long as you're feeling something along the right glute, it's pretty much doing its job, at least for the purposes I'm teaching it. If you're super flexible, maybe you're feeling it somewhere else, or it's just a nice relaxing pose for you. Okay, and coming back up, placing the hands back ready for downward dog, tucking the back toes, lifting up slow, coming into downward facing dog. Do anything you need to here to get a bit of life back in that leg, maybe bending the knees, maybe lifting the leg, shaking the leg, whatever. And then getting ready for the second side. So inhale, left leg up towards the sky. Exhale as we bring that left knee behind the left wrist and get the blocks ready, coming down into our pigeon. So this side is way tighter for me, purely because of my knee injury, and this left side is still so tight. So we need to be super careful with any injuries. Yoga can be great for injuries, but it can also be quite bad for injuries as well if you do things incorrectly, okay? So don't have to be perfect, okay? No one is. Progress, not perfection. So support your legs or your hips to keep your hips square, and then rolling down, inhaling up, okay? Rolling down, inhaling up, rolling down, inhaling up, and then maybe coming all the way down, and then staying down if that's what works for you, okay? Doesn't matter what it looks like, it matters what it feels like. Everyone's at different levels. Every time you step on the mat, you are a different person from the last time you stepped on the mat. And a different person from the person that you're going to do and be when you step off the mat. So, although tracking, measuring, comparisons can be good from day to day, week to week, we've also got to recognise the limitations sometimes in those things. Coming back up, slowly coming out, finding your way into downward dog. Again, downward dog or child's pose if you need it, or rolling through in your vinyasa. Upward dog or cobra, and rolling back, downward facing dog. Good. And then from there, bending the knees and stepping, floating your feet to the front of the mat, coming down onto the ground here. I'm going to take a quick shoulder stand. So I don't normally teach this one, but I feel like I'm going to do it today. So you've got to just make sure your neck is nice and long and there's no pinching on the back of your neck. It's on the shoulders that we're going to be standing here. And the way I like to get into it is tucking the knees and bringing the knees towards me, and then placing the hands on the lower back, shuffling the shoulders together, making sure the shoulders are what's on the ground and not the neck, and then slowly bringing the hands down and extending the legs up. Try and keep the shoulders as close together as possible. Don't look from side to side, just look directly at your belly. Engage the glutes and the thighs. Maybe look at your toes or your belly or your knee, but not left and right. Good. And from here we're going to come into plow. So you're going to bring your legs over your head if it's comfortable. If not, just stay in shoulder stand. Okay. Maybe your feet touch the floor, maybe they don't. Keep your hands on your lower back, either way. Sometimes mine do, sometimes they don't. Good. Then we're going to come into deaf man's pose. So you're going to bend the knees, bring the knees either side of the forehead. Maybe, if you want, you can grab hold around the backs of your knees, grab it holding your ears. And from here we're going to grab hold of the outer edges of our feet, coming into happy baby as we roll slowly down towards the ground. Finding happy baby for a moment. So soles of the feet are facing the sky, the knees are being pulled down towards the ground. Maybe a smile on the face is happy baby after all, not moderately entertained baby. Maybe rocking from side to side, maybe even rocking forwards and backwards. Whatever feels good to you. Before bringing the soles of the feet together, lowering down slightly and slowly into our reclined butterfly like we started at the beginning of class here. Allowing the knees to open up. Hand on chest and hand on belly. Taking a moment here. Reminding yourself of your intention. Did you live up to it? Did you have one? Did you want to set one now for the rest of your day? And then releasing the hands, extending the legs, coming into a nice short shavasana here. Just allow the feet to flop open, neck to be long, legs and arms to be lengthened away from the joints. Breath to soften. Gaze to be internal, towards your third eye, that space in the centre of your forehead, just above the eyebrows, the third eye, pineal gland. So imagine you're looking up there. Relaxing, releasing the breath. Starting to take some deeper breaths, focusing on breathing into the belly. Starting to allow the fingers to move, the toes to move, the wrists and the ankles to rotate in one direction and the other direction. Before taking your hands over your head to the floor behind you, stretching from your fingertips to your toes, stretching your legs straight, the arms straight, stretching the right side of your body out, stretching the left side of your body out, banana in your shape. Yourself from side to side, bringing the knees in towards the chest, giving yourself a squeeze and a hug, telling yourself something nice about yourself before rolling over to either your left or your right side, whatever you want, creating a pillow with your hands, and then coming up to sitting with your eyes closed, sitting on the mat in any comfortable position, and bringing your hands into prayer position in front of the heart center. Taking a breath here, raising your prayer towards your third eye, your forehead. We ask that we have the wisdom to watch our thoughts. Lowering our prayer towards our mouth or our throat chakra. We ask that we have the restraint to watch our words, especially when dealing with other people, but also to be mindful and compassionate of our own internal dialogue. And then finally, lowering our hands towards our heart center. We ask that we have the strength and courage to do whatever is right and necessary, even when it's not the most preferred or desired path. Namaste. Thank you so much, yogis, for practicing along with me today. As I said, my name is Kalymnios from ThoughtGym.com. Please do connect with me on social media. That would be The Thought Gym on all social media platforms. Lots of yoga videos on YouTube, as well as topics such as mindset, resilience, health, well-being, personal development, success principles, and so forth. So do check out the YouTube channel and subscribe and like and share. And of course, head to thethoughtgym.com where there's a free gift waiting for you. So please do check that out, and I hope to see you on the mat very, very soon. Until next time, namaste.